much as my command. Swift as the wind, agile as the crane.
One could say that I got really lucky. I got really lucky patterns with that one. Because usually, this guy, he does a lot more patterns than just a few that were shown just now. He does a lot more than that. So much more. To name off a few, there are two patterns that are really horrendous to dodge. Dodgeable, but dodging multiple times, not so much. Yep, two types of patterns that I would like to avoid, unless I can't really help it. The goal was to, let's see. The goal I was trying to do was throw out 4 regular weapons from my main, which is the tornado fan, and then 1 weapon from my sub. 1 weapon from my sub slot, which is it was Arcanon shield, but then I just realized the cooldown is just too long when I use that. So I opted out for the Kirin bow. That way the cooldown is lower, and I also get a 20% bonus. It took me a while to come to that solution, because, yeah. I have survived long enough a few times before to get the sub-weapon unlocked, but by then I sometimes just get really unlucky and get hit with the unstable cutscene where I get just locked out of using my weapons, and then I died. This is pattern number 1 that you would want to avoid. Not because you can't dodge it when it's coming at you from the front side, but it's really hard to time when it's being retracted back by the boss. This type of pattern, particularly this one, it's really hard to dodge going backwards. Right here. See? Those code attacks are going backwards. You would have to dodge them in the same way you dodged them just 5 seconds ago, except in reverse. And which gets a little tricky because 2 of them are overlapping on top of each other. As such, this is why I got injured when it was coming back from behind me instead of in front of me. The first pattern that you would want to avoid encountering. This pattern is fine, it's pretty plain and simple, but yeah. I got caught off guard with the gravity goddarn thing. Yep. Got caught by gravity. And I was using Flame Scroll before this too, until I decided to go with damage. Yep. Try my best with Kuru's skills. Yep. Burn it away. Yep. He just has to survive long enough to throw out his tornado. That's all Kuru has to do. And drop it to half HP. Or drop assembly 8-head guy to 11 bars, preferably. If 10, that'd be even good. It'd be even better if I could drop this guy to 10 bars of health. The 11 to 10 bars is what you'll want from your first relay, and then your last relay is the one that does the most amount of damage. And hopefully takes him down while having some protection. Some form of protection while casting its jutsu. Such as the Summoning Horn or the Electro Shield. Either of those two work to protect yourself from the lasers this guy throws out later. Cause look at that, that is just horrendous to dodge. And then you have to dodge an unstable cutscene as well.
Trees, and the
As such, I got locked out of my weapons, so I did this. Again. Locked out of weapons again. Every second counted. And then I was kind of on edge. You can see that. Pretty plainly. It's kind of unfortunate, but yeah. Number 1. Avoid that one thing, not because it couldn't be dodged, but because it's pretty darn difficult to time dodging backwards on that one pattern I mentioned, out of all of them in here. Would this one have the second one? The second pattern that wasn't shown in my stage clear? Let's see. Oh yeah. If you were to just dodge these two below the rope, and then go back down, you can dodge everything if you just stayed below the line. Well, sometimes, I guess. Alright, the line double pattern. This is easy. Number 1.
I won't allow my companions to sacrifice again.
Alright, I did a jutsu early this time for that one. Easy enough. No problem. Yep. Bananas time. Time to go bananas. Ah, shoot. Disarm, poison, and force field. Oh yeah, more bananas. This is where you need to learn how to roll. The art of rolling, or get hit and die a horrendous death. To roll is very simple. It's like ducking and then quickly flipping back up again the moment you're out of danger. It's like, how would I word it? It's like rolling underneath a small desk and then coming back out from underneath of it on the other side of the desktop. Your desktop. In slow motion, it's like this. I duck, and then I go back up again. And then I duck, and then I go back up again. It's a very kind of horrendous process. Because if you were to stay below the line too long from trying to duck, you would get injured. 9 times out of 10 by the bananas that are circling you. So, you can try to practice ducking and underneath his code attacks in this one frame, or more frames down the line whenever he does a circular motion like so, and then dodge it as so, like this. It's not hard, but it takes a while to get to nail down the ducking process. Ducking and then coming back up again right away to avoid bananas and the code attack. I think I've bored you enough. Onward, it'll be like this. Yeah. Another banana process. Yep, I eat these for breakfast after I managed to learn how to dodge it. Banana code. Oh yeah, what is this one? Also a circular banana motion. Which is what I prefer, because I can just do this again, and again, and again. Well, that one was a full-on duck. I don't usually have to do it, but sometimes I'm worried. So I want to duck and completely evade the code attack. But the bananas do a large amount of attack to your health bar too if you get touched by the bananas. And that's it for the banana section. Oh yeah. This is the one pattern that I would hate to evade. Pattern number 2. Mountain of code. This guy shoots out codes in a mountain format. Like, it's the code attack, it looks like a mountain. Kind of like this. You see, it's like a mountain shape. I would try to avoid it, not because I couldn't dodge it, but it's really difficult to dodge this perfectly. It's dodgeable, but the amount of timing you have to do to dodge this properly is really, really tight. Yeah. Like so. Mountain of codes. Second pattern to avoid. If you were to be able to avoid him sending this mountain code attacks at you and the 3 triple claw mentioned earlier, these 2 patterns, and then the rest are fairly simple enough to dodge. Assuming you get lucky enough, of course. If you're unlucky, then you're gonna have to take a hit. Either take a hit or use the ice scroll that's on your starter ninja. And then move on with phase 2, burning him for the rest of his life points. Or health points, actually. Yep. Alright. Alright. And then come the laser alloys. Absolutely devastating to evade. I just don't know how to dodge this. Alright. It's so random, it's almost impossible to dodge completely.
I will be with you till the very end.
I probably don't even need the wind scroll, but I'm just that scared. Okay? I got super scared of his laser patterns at some point. Yeah. The dragon summon, and then...
Era of the ninjas is nigh.
I wanted to do my jutsu earlier, but I didn't have enough damage. And I was already on edge from trying to not die. Yeah. When you put on wind scroll, but then forget you have one. Yeah. As a safety precaution. And as such, that's number 2. It has the second pattern that would be preferred to be avoided. And this one, last one, I suppose. I got really, really close. Not to finishing him off with Itsuru, but to pulling off what I wanted to do. 4 weapons, 1 sub-weapon, and a jutsu, all on the starter ninja. Doing so allows me to drop him to 17 bars of health, at least. Your goal would be, to drop him by 10 bars of health with your starter, drop him by 8 bars of health on the relay, your first relay, and then finish him off. Finish the rest of his health on the last relay. In total, that would be about 27 bars. And the last bar coming from those things that Pandana is giving you here. Extra tickets to do damage on him. That last bar is used and dealt with cards with the unknown scroll cards. So far, I think I did 1 attack right, yeah. My sub-weapon has loaded 1/4 of its time, and main weapon has loaded 1 time already at him. So yeah, reason I say 4 main weapons, cause that's about the same amount of time you'll need in order to pull off another sub-weapon at him as well. Like, it takes 4 main weapons recharge time before you can get your sub-weapon to use. This is the second one. The second main weapon that I threw at him. On top of jutsu from your starter ninja. Oh yeah. To be clear, I don't have 2 MMR3, but not everyone has 2 either. So that's why I'm going with this. Alright. I got disarmed again. And poisoned. Alright. No problem, I suppose. Okay. That's number 3. Yep. Number 3, incoming. Number 4, as you can see, 27, 29, 24, 25. All I had to do was survive 20 more seconds from this point on. So I can pull off 2 weapons. And then just eat the Dark Crucine so that my Relay Ninja won't have to eat it on purpose. Yeah, I would purposefully eat that thing when I'm... Yeah. See here? Once I pull off the last weapons right here, just 1 second, and I would have been able to do it. 5 weapons, skills, and a jutsu on this guy, on the starter ninja. And then you would use your ninja's last dying breath to grab that dark cuisine so that your relay won't eat it. And then die then. For your first relay. And then it'll be a job complete. I was contemplating either to do it so, because I didn't drop him to 17 bars. I was just 1 bar short. Yeah. Damage cognition.
Dragging gunfire!
The rest is history. That 1 second was so crucial to me. Yeah, but I messed up that. Yeah, I don't know how to dodge that. Just too much.
Your wish is my command.
BTR can also work in this case as well. If you don't have Itsuru, you can use BTR instead as a substitute. Because after he does his rockets,
Crave, follow my lead.
you'll have some... The rest, for 1/2 of his time, you can do...
I must pass
Yeah.
the intel.
You can do his jutsu, and then half the time, after half of his jutsu time is up, you can then be safe from any attack, because you're shooting him from a far distance with BTR. If you don't have... Yeah, if you don't have Itsuru, you can use BTR instead. Because this... Yeah, what's it called again? Yeah, this. Super Electromagnet Cannon Railgun. Yep. You can aim at him from your perspective, safe from all objects when you're using him. Yeah. And yeah, that's about it, honestly. It does... Your relay doesn't have to be Kuru, but I'm just gonna say I had more consistency pulling off 8 bars of health off of the apehead when I had Kuru as my relay. And then finishing him off with Itsuru, or BTR, if you were to have BTR built instead, as your last ninja's last stand. Your starter ninja doesn't have to be Suga. Nor does he have to have 6 of this, or perk 6. But it does help to have perk 6, it's Suga, to be able to track him. You're basically holding your jutsu when you fire it, and then still dodging in between when using the jutsu. After all, that boss is a human type, so naturally you'll want to have your blue ninja as high as possible. Because this is very effective against human bosses. And, you know, I had Daruma Princess for, you know... Maybe I should have did DFK's relic set instead. But I'm not completely sure I want to use this yet. I'm still 18 levels short for him. And 5 talents short. I need about... I think it was 300 something? But yeah. I need about 310 Firestones to unlock the rest of his personal talents. And then I can consider using him for Kuru, and then maybe not, because the difference between Kuru, well, not exactly a difference, but, okay, let me just, yeah. The difference between Kuru and DFK. When both are sealed in PvP, when they're still alive, they would both be able to launch their tornado or their dragon heads. Kuro, on the other hand, when he dies and he was casting jutsu, he'll still throw out his fire tornado upon death and damage the boss, even if he dies. Whereas, if DFK dies before he can launch his fire dragons, You would not be able to throw out your dragon heads, unfortunately. Unless he just died, just as he was releasing them. Then that's a different story. Which is why I had more consistency with Kuro instead of DFK jutsu. If I were to die on DFK, I would not be able to fire my jutsu. Or like, let me word this in a different way. If I die before I can fire my dragon heads on DFK early, I won't be able to use his, I won't be able to make the most of his ninjutsu damage. But if I die, or like, even if I were to die with Kuro, I didn't die, but if I died early with Kuro, because I couldn't dodge all the code attacks or bananas, I would still be able to damage the boss with the fire tornado and see what you can do there from there with the rest with your last ninja against him. Substitutes for Suga as your starter ninja, doing 4 weapons and a sub-weapon and a jutsu. Let's see, well, if you did 5 weapons in total, you should have enough for another jutsu, regardless of what level it was, maybe. Like, if I had an MM R0 on him, or just S relic MM on Suga, after doing 5 weapons skills on him, I probably would have enough for another jutsu, but my relay ninja probably won't be able to pull it off in time. Riki isn't really the greatest options, although I would like to use him because of a lightning weakness. His aim is just horrible, not because it's the boss, but like because the ape head moves towards him a little too much, and as a result, his electro ball would miss him, would miss more, like it would just miss him before being able to do more of its damage when it moved in front of the ball and then right behind it. If it doesn't stay still, unfortunately. Because if I could control the electro ball to wherever I want it to, it'll be much better. But it can't. I can't do that. Rin wouldn't be the best substitute for starter, as her jutsu aim is really bad. Not cause, well, you know, that and it being a ice burial, summoning a field of frost, of snowstorm, and assembly apehead guy, his body size is very small, making it very hard to target with Rin. As such, it might be better to use Pepper, only if you have her, because she can aim in a straight line, but the way you time it though, because you are kind of vulnerable when you're just sitting there and without moving, firing your jutsu while that guy fires code attacks that goes through everything. So offensively, Pepper can do, but not very good defensively or running away when using her jutsu. Evasion tactics, basically. Sugan can still shoot his jutsu and still evade normally. Well, to a degree, at least. Moonlit Yoru is fine. She does fair amount of damage as your starter for the boss. DFK is also fine as a starter if you can manage to land his dragons before he dies. And at least 5 weapons to make your life a little easier if you have enough. If you have sufficient damage on your first and second ninja to finish the rest of his health. Because if you don't finish him on your last ninja, that guy would just throw all the lightning laser bolts at you that are indestructible as well at you. And then you're kind of screwed. BTR is even better. If you have BTR as your starter, or if you have Itsura as your starter, and then BTR as your second relay, really good. Also, his lightning weakness. He has self-aim assistance for the first half, and manual aiming assistance for the second half. Pretty good. As starter or second relay. Snow Dancerin. Well, I won't say that she won't be great, but you're gonna have to avoid everything that guy throws at you until you can pop off your Frost Star effect. Because if you don't have this thing, it's gonna take a lot longer for you to use it. And if you don't have Frost Star, that's like a good 20% extra damage you can get from Snow Dancer in, honestly. Which is kind of very essential when you try to drop that guy by 10 bars. From 28 bars to 17. Or around that number. I just prefer 17 because it makes your life a little easier after that. Okay, Starlit Flash Pepper. Pretty good. She could stay afloat in the midair forever, honestly. As long when you have her jutsu active. Which basically means she can dodge the initial attack, the initial patterns of that, of what was it again? Of Assembly Ape Head. No problem, because she could jump 3 times, use it, and then she just has to do fist attacks, so that she can throw out fist attacks rather than shoot the laser in a straight line. And then it'll be like hitting the boss while being totally away from danger. For only the initial phase, because after the initial phase of Ape Head, he'll throw out bananas at you, and those come in a circular motion 7 times out of 10. And it would hit Pepper if she's flying very, very high up. Maya is also a very good option, but not as your starter. Wouldn't she though? Yeah, as your starter or second relay in place of Mayetsuru. If you have the resources and her relics for it. She can do her jutsu very, very fast. Fast enough so that it's like an invincibility frame without it being an invincibility frame. Because she locks onto the target and she's invincible while doing so after like 50% of her ninjutsu time is up. And then you could just nuke that guy for what it's worth, as long as you were safe from being attacked by him for half of her ninjutsu uptime. And that's about it, honestly. For the replay that I did at the beginning of this video, this one, I pulled off not 5 weapons, but 6 in total. 1, because I was lucky with the attack patterns, and 2, because I bought enough time. I didn't need it, but as a result of doing so, Mayetsuru didn't need to finish off her ninjutsu attack. Her entire ninjutsu. Only 2 seals popped off before the boss died, because I managed to land an extra main weapon skill at him. It was supposedly 4 main weapons and a sub. That's the requirement at the very minimum for the starter ninja on these stats. And then 1 jutsu, and you can get them down to 17 bars. Anything more than that would be bonus damage. And that's it. Hope this is helpful. I'm sorry if this is really late, but okay. I was having what's the word? I was kind of lazy over, and just kind of occupied overall with other things in life. Anyways, see ya.